New Orleans legend. Hey, listen, in so many words you just said that. I just want you to realize that I peeped, and they probably gonna peep that you just said that your name should be mentioned.
It should be mentioned. 100%. I ain't saying I'm the legendary status yet.
Fuck that.
My big dog, my OG was just with Jay-Z.
Okay, so look,
I got a little ways to go, bro.
So let's talk about that.
That's a lot of legendary.
But anyway, let's get back to this cheddar. Turn up in your hustle when your life gon' get much better. A real boss turn all his L's to a blessing.
Welcome to the Hood Buddah Podcast. I'm your host, BP, and we are locked in with session 15. And it's been a minute, but we back at it, and we back and we better than we left. So I got another New Orleans legend in the building.
I never heard that one.
She laughing because I feel like she don't be popping her shit enough, but I'm gonna call you how I see it. I feel like you a New Orleans legend, and you feel like that about yourself?
Thank you. I don't think I'm at legendary status yet. But I am working towards it.
But too many people feel like they legends and they really not. And you really got the resume behind it to be it, so you saying you not, something ain't right.
I appreciate that.
All right, what? I want you to do this for me. Introduce yourself to the people and not humbly.
Just talk my talk?
Talk your talk. Let them know who you are.
Well, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Morgan Walker, born and raised right here in New Orleans. Like he said, I'm an event producer. I'm an author. I'm also a founder of a nonprofit. I also do community outreach and advocacy and, so many other things that I'm working on and that's in the works that I want to add to my resume that you talked about. So I'm a college graduate from Buddah University in accounting. I did that for a while. So I did a lot of things, but that's led me to where I am today. So excited about that. Excited to talk to you. It's been a minute since I've been on a podcast too, so.
Oh, you in for some shit then.
It's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a minute since I really popped it. Like I haven't been popping it like that.
I need you to pop it. All right. So if you tune in this before we even get started, if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, turn it off right now because this podcast, we do not hold our tongue. So that's why I'm telling you right now. Pop your shit.
Let's do it.
Pop. All right. So you said that you graduated from Buddah. And you said that you have things in the work that you are looking to add to the resume, right? Yeah. What are the things that's on the resume right now that people don't know about? And maybe if they do know about it, but what are the things that's on the resume right now?
I think something that I'm so proud of that I really don't talk about a lot because I feel like the way I wanted to roll it out, I couldn't really roll it out how I envisioned because I had so many other things going on. But I'm still super proud of it. But it's me being the author of my first book. I put it out in 2020. It's called Think Like a Local. It's still on Amazon. But like I said, I really couldn't roll it out how I wanted to. But it really talks about certain hidden gems in the city, places you should visit, and that I've been to, and my favorite things that I like about the spaces. But what's special to me with the book is that I start off, just talking about really a little bit about my life and my journey and about my grandparents and my parents and where I come from and my entrepreneur background when it comes to my family. And really just continuing that and the hard work that I'm doing now to really, live up to the success that they've seen and that I've seen them overcome. So I think it's my turn to do that. And I touch on that just a little bit in my book. So I think that's one of my most prized possessions that I haven't had the opportunity to really promote and put out there like that. Cause I really wanted to do it in a certain type of way. And like I said, I had so many other projects going. And life, when you're dealing with life, you really have to put your financial obligations first.
Right.
So a lot of the times your passion projects and things that you really care about take a back burner to, bills and stuff like that. So that's really what happened with that. But I'm still super proud about it. I am going to revisit it, but it is something that I think people don't really know. And I think people should really take a look at the book and they can really see why I am the way I am and why I do and move a certain type of way.
So let me ask you this. So from my understanding, I don't know you too well, but I do have a strong intuition about people.
Okay.
And what I'm picking up is you come from a good background.
I do.
that's big, not kind of. I'm not gonna say kind of as big, because especially in the city that we come from, I feel like we come from a city of trauma and we come from a city of poverty, and not just financially, but like a mindset. So you coming from a good background, you said something that you're trying to live up to the standard of your people, right? I feel like in our city we don't have too much of that. Right. So I want you to talk about how your upbringing and how your family or the people around you have had a certain success that kind of rubbed off on you and inspired you to be who you are and who you becoming.
Yeah, I think like I define success differently too from I feel like a lot of people. You know, I really don't look at it like I would want to say like maybe from a status standpoint. I look at success from accomplishments. Something that I've seen somebody start off one way and then in another realm of their success. And to me that's success, because a lot of times people talk about things and then it don't really blossom. You know, and I'm not saying that's failures, but that's lessons. That's learning curves. Right. You know, you haven't accomplished something that you set out to accomplish. And it could be little things, big things, but like I said, like watching, you know, really my parents firsthand from us, you know, really coming from nothing, like, you know, really having a 2-bedroom in the East, like to move into the house with a pool and things like that. You know, I was there to witness that type of process. So I was there when my mom was, you know, not working, and my dad was at the post office, and it was just, she was watching kids in our house. And it was just a vision of hers to open a daycare. So watching her throughout that process, and my dad supporting her, and us as a family having to support her as well, getting up, having to, you know, open the nursery before I go to school, walk to school because my mama couldn't drop me off, you know, because she already be working, my dad already on the route, you know, making package drop off. So it's like just watching them, to me, that was just so inspiring, you know? And I think because they dealt with a lot of struggles, they always wanted me to go find like a professional, you know, they always kind of like, you need to try to be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, a professional career. So they really, really pushed school with me and stuff like that. But I mean, I just always had that entrepreneur spirit. I mean, they saw it early on and they was trying to like kind of stay focused. What are you doing? Like you working, like I was working 3 jobs, taking my money, throwing parties. Like they're like, what are you doing? You don't even have you could just go focus on school and do what you need to do so you can go to college. You need to be worried about what you're going to major in, what you're going to do next. Are you going to get your master's? Are you going to get your CPA? Like all this type of stuff. Are you going to go to law school? Are you going to go to medical school? And it's like, those were never my aspirations, you know, and I think once they, you know, started seeing like how ambitious I was with it, they really got on board and started supporting it and really explaining to me, you know, how business worked and like I didn't really see the struggles as a kid, but like all the trials and tribulations they went through opening a business, you know, so it's not easy.
It's not. It's definitely not easy. But I kind of talk about that a lot. Like, I feel like a lot of people push on school. Like that's the next step. And you said something very important, that success is not measured by what people think it is what is measured into your life and your circumstance. So I feel like a lot of people, especially our own people, our color skin people, they push on college and they push on school because they feel like that's the next step to success. And at one point at a time, it probably was, but times has changed, and I always encourage people to do what you want to do. So that kind of ties into like my definition of success. What is service? What is servicing you as a person? What is it that you really want to do? Because yeah, you could go work your 9 to 5, you could go get as many jobs as you want, but is that fulfilling you as a person? Is that something that you want to do? Is that something that you feel like you should be doing? You know what I mean? So I think that it come off wrong, but I think that people should veer off from just pushing on, go to school, go to college, be this, and it's just really as simple as, what is it that you want to do? And a lot of people don't have that answer, don't get me wrong, but I feel like as opposed to like your background, you come from people that was pushing on something, a different narrative. You know what I mean? They did do something, and it's just like you said, it's not easy, and that's why people don't do it. It's actually the opposite. They think that, oh, you don't work a 9 to 5, you got the best life. Nah, the entrepreneurship, this shit is 24 hours, like, and it's not easy. You don't know where the next dollar coming from.
Right.
But like I always see, I feel like the easy shit you shouldn't always run to, because there's no room for growth. There's no room for progress if it's easy. If you not uncomfortable, if it's not hard, or you're not challenged, how are you progressing? How are you learning new things? How are you becoming? How are you getting things that you never had by doing something that you always did? You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I look at it as people just so used to just passing down the same shit, and not adapting to what we got going on today.
Yeah, I think, to me, like how I see it, it's like you need a healthy balance.
Right.
And I think, the miscommunication with like my parents and my grandparents, and I think, that with my kids, what I'll always be supportive of, because it comes a time I feel like where you are that person where you like, what do I want to do?
Right.
What is it that fulfills me, and what is it that I'm really good at? And how can I monetize that so that I can be happy? And also I can provide a life for myself that I want. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to do the things that I want to do. And sometimes that comes with stability and having a career and having something that's right there in your face that's tangible. So a lot of the times when you're dealing with entrepreneurship is very much so trial and error, and it's ups and downs.
Right.
Especially in the entertainment industry where, you really, it goes with the economy where, during tax season, everybody going out. During school season, kids going back to school, life is happening, holidays about to come around, people saving up.
Right.
Then they're not going out as much. I'm not making as much money. I have to get creative around that. So it's like, that's why I always say I'm always trying to juggle different projects because I have financial obligations. So it's just that healthy balance, I think, that they were really pushing. Because what I realized too is that they had each other. Mm-hmm. My mom had my dad had my mom. So he was working a 9 to 5 that had benefits and this. And so they were able to take that risk to, put up all their money and stuff like that while he was still working, and she was able to go run a business.
Right.
So it's like, it's that healthy balance. So when you one person trying to do that, you really don't really have a partner support like that. You have to create that healthy balance for yourself. So what does that look like in your entrepreneur journey? So I just try to tell people, like, you just take any type of information you can from whatever. Like, I think what I learned most about, like, with my college situation and them pushing me to do that was my relationships. And the people who have provided me opportunities from just going to school with me, knowing what type of person I am, knowing what type of business I do, that have provided me opportunities to be able to make money and provide for myself. So I don't knock, like, your parents pushing you in a certain direction because they see what they want for you. So I think it just needs to be communicated differently. And I think that's what I'm gonna do for the next generation of our family, is just really communicate the support differently and how I want. Like, I know I'm gonna have a vision for my child. Like, I feel like every parent, like, have a vision for their child. Right. But, you have to let that person be who they are. Their own person. And try to support them as much as they can. And they do, because I'm not talking bad about them. But I think, like I said, their generation from my generation, it just was that communication. Right. Just like I feel like the generation before us don't really have blueprints for us. I feel like we the first generation of business owners and doing entrepreneur things where, we don't really have a blueprint that we're looking at. We're just doing things really on a whim. Right. Like you said, it's so many endeavors that's popping up. I mean, even if I look at being a promoter, starting doing that 10 years ago, it wasn't much of a blueprint. People didn't really know what it was. Still to this day, people don't understand how you make money from throwing parties because they it just didn't resonate with being something that could actually be a career until people started making it a career.
So so what you saying is kind of basically what I all right, so basically what I tell people is that if it don't make sense or people telling you not to do it, you should absolutely do it.
You're just a rebel.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because it's like, all right, boom, it's just like how you sitting here saying that people don't understand how you can make money from parties, right? So say when you first started off, and we're going to talk about that, but when you first started off, you telling your vision and your dream to people that don't have this vision. And your vision is only delivered to you. You only got this vision delivered to you, so you're the only person that can understand it, right? But if you're telling it to people who don't got this vision and can't understand it, they're going to tell you, oh, now you crazy. They told Elon Musk he was crazy. But I'd look at it as things that are innovative, things that are different, things that are original. That shit going to seem crazy as fuck in the beginning.
Yeah.
You should absolutely run towards that.
Definitely.
And if it seems like this is something that everybody's yes man and amen in, or you're comfortable doing it, you probably shouldn't do it.
And it's gonna be tough, and you're gonna come across like bumps in the road. But I just feel like just write everything down. Write everything down. Like everything I ever started, it's been a process, and it's documented.
Right.
It's in my computer. It's in my phone. It's in my notes. It's in everything. It's a process for everything. Even me starting my nonprofit, like it's from beginning to end, like from financial obligations to bylaws to everything is literally documented, because I feel like any route anybody want to take, like it's a blueprint for it. Like even with the parties, like I literally have a notebook that I found from me when I was in high school, literally jotting down, like, it's so funny that Tootie is in the building with us, because my first people that I ever booked at the Labor Union Hall was Big Frida and Sissy Nobi. And I literally have my expense sheet, like from that party, and it's literally still the blueprint that we use today. I mean, now it's like on an Excel sheet,
right?
But essentially it's the same business that I was operating in high school. Now I'm just operating on a bigger scale, like more expenses. We have a brick and mortar, like, I'm doing it every week, but essentially it's the same thing. We're booking artists, we're booking talent, we're booking DJs. These are now employees of the business that we created for just people coming out, people going out. So I look back and really appreciate, my journey and those type of things, because like I said, everything is really documented,
right,
so that the next generation can see, like, yeah, you guys could take this and really polish it and turn it up to another level. Because now we have event curators and different things. Like, this wasn't a thing. Like, this shit wasn't a thing like a few years back. Like, right. And it's good to, like, I'm really happy to see, like, event curators, because they don't like to call themselves promoters, because essentially, like, they're creating an experience. But, I mean, that's what we've been doing for years. And, when we talk about people who have been doing it from the beginning, my name should definitely be mentioned, because, I was definitely one of the first people to begin to throw parties on a level where people recognized it and respected it as a career.
New Orleans legend. Hey, listen, in so many words you just said that, I just want you to realize that I peeped, and they probably gonna peep that you just said that, that your name should be mentioned.
It should be mentioned. 100%. I ain't saying I'm the legendary status.
Nah, fuck that.
My big dog, my OG was just with Jay-Z.
Okay, so look,
I got a little ways to go, bro.
So let's talk about that.
That's a lot of legendary.
Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. Let's talk about that, because you just mentioned about how you were the first to do certain things, right? Okay. Talk about them things that, and again, not humbly, talk about those things that you did first.
I think, let me tell you about first, right? I know I did definitely do a lot of things first. And I think that for me, it wasn't about doing it first. It was really about exposing New Orleans to experiences that I really feel like we deserve. And that comes with, like, maybe silent parties. I feel like I was the first one to bring that into, a thing. Also,
silent parties first.
Silent parties with the headphones. Also, when I started Biking Vote, mobilizing voters. That's not something I feel like, people, and, I was always promoting parties, but really getting the community out for something that is positive for them, getting them out to vote, making it fun, making it, entertaining, where we mobilized thousands of bike riders across the state to get to the polls. I definitely was the first, to do something like that on that scale. I really don't really see too many people focusing on advocacy and that type of thing as well as their career. I think we all need to focus a lot more on our community while we still doing our own thing. Also, I was the first person to bring Say Cheese to New Orleans. He came down here. We did a showcase so that he could see like the talent and things like that the city had to offer. I actually had started a festival right after that because he had inspired me to expose the city even more. But the festival, I was the first one to bring NBA Youngboy down here at the House of Blues, and before opening, I did 5 local artists to open it because I wanted to expose them to his audience because he was growing so fast and so rapidly. And I knew it was going to be packed with a diverse audience. We had white people, black people, Hispanic people, all that. Was a sold out show. So it was my priority to put local artists to open up for him. From New Orleans to open up for Youngboy. And, I provided them that opportunity. And for me, that was everything because I just always want to expose my community to new experiences and people to them, to our culture, to our people. To me, when I connect people with different experiences, that's exposing them to things that will open their mind for them to be great.
Right.
And a lot of people will tell you, when I talk back on stuff, they'll be like, well, you was the first. A guy just told me yesterday, I'm not lying, I was the first person to ask him to sit on a panel. And he said he had been praying about him wanting to be a speaker, be a public speaker and do that type of work. And I reached out to him and asked him to sit on a panel for one of my Christmas giveaways alongside Rob Kazi and a few other people. And he was just saying how he still have a relationship with Rob Kazi because of that situation. And how I kicked off his journey with public speaking. And to me, when people remember stuff like that, because I do that a lot for people, where I give them an opportunity and book them for the first time, and put them in certain type of positions in certain type of rooms, and people forget about that because they get so big sometimes. And listen, I'm not I don't need the recognition, but stories like that keep me motivated because I'm like, damn, being a good person actually, do pay off. Because sometimes you just feel like you're being used, and you're being overworked. So when people come up and tell me stuff like that, I just remember none of this shit ain't for nothing. Eventually it's all gonna align and it all makes sense. And I am gonna go down as a legend.
You trying to say that's some future shit. I'm saying that's some present shit. Because to me it's like how you say that success is defined by the person, not just in a broader way, right? So if you're telling me that you rubbed off on people like that, that is a legendary status to me. Yeah, you're telling me you're the first person to do X, Y, and Z. That is a legendary status to me. And again, it's just the same thing as success. Just because not everybody is acknowledging that don't mean that you're nonetheless a legend in your city. You see what I'm saying?
Thanks.
And it also could be you ain't popping it enough. And that's why I come in there, because I want you to pop that shit. So, all right, so I definitely want to talk about this.
What you got?
Another first that I feel like I peeped is that you're the first in party and politics.
I definitely the first.
That shit don't even go together. That shit don't go together. You sit here trying to defute that you're not a legend. You're in party and politics, and I want to talk about the balance in that. So what I talk about on here the most is mental health. What I do is I want to push the importance of mental health, and not just push it, but explain it, make it more understandable and relatable to our people. And you're the perfect example of that, because I'm pretty sure you had your obstacles of not just balancing it physically, but just, mentally and emotionally. How did you balance that line between party and politics?
For me, it started with community, right? Because when I seen success in parties, it always brought me back to community. I started doing like back to school giveaways. That was one thing, organizing back to school giveaways. So doing that every year really showed me like, damn, these kids need that. They need me to to help them and be here and show them like, like, damn, somebody who come from my city, coming back and care about, if I got a school bag or, if I'm going to school with fresh shoes on, if I'm going to school with new uniform, like I got 2 or 3 pair of pants, like all that little stuff matters. And I think like when COVID hit, it really actually set me down to where I couldn't throw parties, right? We couldn't gather.
Mm-hmm.
So that was everything for me. And I was like, damn, now I don't have that. What now? Like, who am I? Like, I can't throw parties. Like, who am I? Like, so that was my question for a few months when COVID hit. And I had got really depressed, like, because like I said, I mean, I wasn't making money. I didn't know what was next because we couldn't gather. And I felt like I wasn't good at anything else. I had been doing that so long. So I was like, okay, I got a degree in accounting, but I don't know the first thing about that.
Right.
I've been really marketing, if you look at it. You know what I mean? Like, I've been marketing parties and kind of going that route. So, I got the opportunity to work on a campaign. And it really was different because it was a family member. So when she asked me, I was like, well, what you need me to do?
Right.
She was like, well, people don't really know it's even an election. It's a small election. COVID is here. People scared to gather. We have to social distance, all these type of obstacles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we just sitting in there having a brainstorming session. And I'm like, what I've been doing is I've been biking. Like, so during COVID, like the French Quarter and stuff was clean, super clean. They had took all the homeless people and moved them to like hotels and stuff. And of course, like people wasn't out on Bourbon Street or nothing like that. So I was just biking every day, just kind of clearing my mind, trying to, get back right, trying to figure out what's next, trying to figure out how I could do events through all this.
Right.
On top of being asked to work for a campaign for the first time to get people out to vote through all this, through all the social distancing stuff, through all where we just playing games on the phone, doing bingo, like doing all kind of stuff on the internet, like, so I'm like, okay, let's get creative on the internet. Let's have some fun on the internet. So we started making videos and like I was still biking. So I came up with like doing a bike scavenger hunt event. And so I told my sister about it. I was like, look, I want to do a bike scavenger event, this and that. So that's kind of how Bike and Vote was birthed, because it was really me trying to do an event to get people together, to have some fun. Like I just miss curating. I just miss being around people. Like I just needed that. I needed that sense of community some type of way. And that's really how Bike and Vote was birthed, because I told her, I said, a lot of people say, I'm gonna go vote.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go vote. I said, but we can't just take their word for it this time. Right? Being so small. I'm like, the people who saying they gonna go vote, we gonna tell them, meet us here, and we gonna all bike and go vote together.
Right.
So we plotted out the route from Armstrong Park. We was like, let's all meet at Armstrong Park and bike to City Hall where everybody could still vote. We could still social distance. We can still wear our masks. We can follow all these rules that was in place, but still get that sense of community and really hold people accountable for saying, I'm going to go vote.
Right.
And that's really how Bike and Vote came about. And that's really how my political side came about, because I got an opportunity from somebody who trusted me and trusted my vision and really allowed me to execute a plan. And I realized when I had such a huge turnout for that election, I knew I couldn't stop there. I knew I couldn't focus on just getting somebody elected. I knew I had to focus on, people really, even when it wasn't COVID, like people wasn't voting. Right. They're not paying attention to the laws that's being changed and the representation that's happening around us that have everything to do with our day-to-day life, and we just not paying attention, including myself. Like, you know, I'm like, damn, I really was just going with emotions because I come from a voting family, so I always went vote, but sometimes I ain't really pay attention because I'm just more focused on my business, my life, a lot of shit going on. So I'm like, nah, this is something we gotta wake up and pay attention to again.
Right.
So I really went full throttle with Bike and Vote, and it really just presented more opportunities than I could ever imagine. You know, working on more campaigns and building Bike and Vote throughout the state. And I realized hardships and obstacles with politics too is that, you know, they don't want us to really be aware, and they don't want us to really pay attention to the laws that's being passed, to how powerful our vote is. You know what I mean? So it just like when I started seeing that too, the pushback from that on my end, it made me want to go even harder. It's like, man, y'all could come out and party with me and do all this, but I want y'all to also come and join me and come to this panel and come meet these people, bro, that's really making decisions for us in our city that we need to be holding accountable and know that they work for us. And if we got problems, we can't just call people, you know, our mama, our daddy, our uncle, our cousin. Right. We need to call these people that we pay with our tax dollars to help us with certain shit because that's their job.
So for me, party and politics in New Orleans is so yin and yang. That is crazy for you to be in both. It sounds crazy because it shouldn't be crazy, but I feel like the party is so heavy in New Orleans. I feel like that's one of the best things that we have going. Yep. And I've been telling everybody this is that no matter how much money somebody got, no matter what season it is, they are going out. They're going out, they're going to get a drink, they're going to get a plate of food. 365 days a year. Yep. But as far as local elections and politics, no, it's just not happening. So what do you, and then you answered my question is that for you, community is what bounds them together for you. So it seems like your service is hosting, bringing people together. What do you feel like is lacking in New Orleans with the distinction of two? Where are we falling off at as people or as a city? Because I don't think it needs to be said that the city has a shitload of potential. It's just not reaching.
Yeah, I think it's just bridging that gap and people realizing that, you know, it's no reason for us not to be in the rooms just because you went out the night before. You're not supposed to be in the city council meeting. Like, your voice don't matter. Like, no, that don't go like that. And they're not better, you know, better than you or better than me or, you know, or vice versa. Right. You know, like some people, it comes with insecurity and it also come with a history of politics being very uptight, you know, very, very standoffish and things like that. So it's like, and sometimes your mindset also can deter you from, you know, talking to a person. Correct. Because people, their perspective of you may come off as if like, oh, I'm not going to, you know, talk to them or say how I really feel because this is this. You know what, man, listen, I can have a conversation with anybody. I think that's what's special about New Orleans people because, you know, even, you know, if you was born in the suburbs, you know, you might have a friend that out the Magnolia. Right. Like, you know, that might be your best friend. Right. It's like, but we come from the same place and some type of way we can relate to each other in some type of struggle. We all dealt with the same type of struggles. Like, yes. You know, of course it's different, but essentially, like, we all want what's best for our city. Like, right. We all want better education system. Like, we all want the same thing. Like, I want to raise my kids here too. I want to thrive here too. I don't want to have to move to Houston or move to Atlanta. Like, I don't want to have to do that. So I have to literally infiltrate and go in and like make change. Like, because it's like I said, people aren't getting that they can be in these spaces without also, it's like, you can also, like, politics politics in your personal life is everything. It's everything. We should take this shit so personal. Like I take business personal too.
Okay.
Because a lot of people be like, oh, it's just business. It's just business. Not for me. How people do business is the type of person they could be too.
Exactly.
So it's like, to me, I align it all. So even with politics and parties, like even how I treat people at parties, it's personal. It's me. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to, like, if I see you and I know you, I'm not going to act like I don't know you because I want you to pay at the door. I'm going to say, man, it's $20, bro.
See, listen.
Tonight, I need that. Like, either, you know, oh, it's good tonight. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so, because that's personal. If it was just business, it would be $20 for you every night.
Right.
Because this business.
Right.
But it's not. It's personal. I don't have to charge you every single time. If I already did, if I had made $3,000, you know, however I feel like I didn't made enough tonight, I'm fine with my friends. You know, y'all don't have to pay tonight. We gonna have a good time on me tonight because personally, that's the type of person I am. So that aligns with my business and how my experiences is when you come party with me, or you took care of me in a certain instance. I'm gonna take care of you. That's business. That's personal.
That's what makes you different.
Politics. It's personal.
Right.
What you do and how you dictate and make decisions when you get up there and you go to clock in at City Hall and how you make decisions, it personally affects me.
Exactly.
It personally affects my little niece education. It personally affects my pothole that's on my street. It personally affects my light bill. All this type of stuff have a personal effect on me and my stress. So we have to take life personal.
So let me tell you this though. So what you saying, the mindset that you have, you're in the 1%.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, like you're in the 1%, and then so in my eyes, I'm gonna tell you this. I don't like our city. I love our city, but I don't like this motherfucker. And let me tell you why. For the simple fact of the things that you're talking about. How your mindset is and how you see it, I feel like should be the norm, but it's not the norm out here like that. Yeah. It's not. I feel that, and I hate to put it this way, but it is what the fuck it is. People overvalue themselves out here. And I'm not the type of person to tell somebody that, because your value is your motherfucking value. Stand on that shit. But it shouldn't affect you to where it takes away from your personality. You're condescending to other people. You feel like you're above other people or better than other people. And I feel like that's the city that we live in. And nobody should be entitled to that shit out here. It's just like how you said that everybody look at it. Everybody in this city wants a better education system and want better for this city. And I don't agree with that. I don't think they do. And we have some people that are aware of how things could be better. But I think majority of the people don't know how it can be better. Think about how many people have never left the East. Yeah. How many people never left the West Bank. They don't have the mindset. They don't have the experience to understand more or how things can be better. So it's like a comfortability thing. This city is good for accepting what is comfortable and what they're used to.
The big easy, huh?
The big fucking easy. And it's just like how you know when you go to other cities and shit. For me, when I left at 18, I left the city at 18 and I went to California. It was a complete culture shock to me. I was fucked up. I was actually depressed for 4 years because I was completely uncomfortable. But that made me who I am today. That made the mindset that I have today. That opened up a whole new world for me today. And it also was able for me to point out that, man, the city that I come from, they don't have this type of mindset. The average person don't have this mindset. They're cool with the regular, day-to-day New Orleans life. And if we being real, the regular New Orleans life is not much of a life. And that's not to say that this isn't a great city, because it is. It is nonetheless a great city. And Tweety, I tell you, I'm the first person to tell you I would leave this city in a heartbeat. At a drop of a dime. But I'm also seeing that there are good things in this city to bring about. And I would love to get on the other side of bettering it and changing other people's mindset. But it will take tremendous amount of work, because I have acknowledged that it's not the norm to have the mindset to do this work. Or for people to be like, yeah, look, this city needs this work. This is what we need help on. This is what we need to focus on. And the things that you're doing, you need more help.
Right.
But how many people are willing to fucking do that shit? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this. If people had a better mindset, it wouldn't be no question or no brow raising when I sit here and call you a New Orleans legend. It's kind of my point. You kind of question that, or you veer to that because the people don't respect or understand the shit that you're doing.
Right.
But they'll respect the motherfucker who's throwing a party every damn weekend. And it's just, oh, you're bringing this to the city. Oh, you lit. You're popping. Oh, what about the other shit that's actually influencing the people? Because what is partying doing for this city?
Right.
What is it actually doing for the people? How is it better in our education system? How is it making this a better state economy-wise, financial-wise?
Right.
How is it raising or lowering the poverty rates or the employment rates? It's not. It's actually making them bitches higher because all we want to do is party and eat and go get a drink. It's just like I say, 365 days a year, broke or rich. They're going out. They're going to get them a party. They're going to get them a drink. They're going to get them some food. They're going to spend them at last. So the politics side of our local elections and things like that, the things that actually make our education system better, the things that provide better jobs, things that give us more knowledge, nobody is focusing on that. And that's what you're doing. But the shit not highlighted because everybody had a mindset to understand that.
Right.
And that's kind of my point. If I had my way, what I would want to do in the city is create these foundations or these buildings where people could come in and have therapy sessions, have talks, because I think our city is extremely traumatized.
Agree.
Very, very traumatized. And not only that, you got to think about it. See, for example, man, like I understand I got some wits with my mama. Or let's say my mama haven't seen or experienced the things that I've seen, right? And it's like, to me, it's like, oh, well, you should know this. Oh, that's just common sense, but common sense ain't common. And not only that, recognizing where we come from, we haven't experienced too much. Yeah. We have a cap over our head. So if you look at it like that, I know how my mama is because I know who my grandma is. I know who my grandma is because of my great grandma. I don't expect you to have a certain type of knowledge because of the person who taught you.
Yeah.
So we keep going back down the line. It's like, well, no shit you like that because look who the person that taught you. Look at the person that influenced you. So it starts with these generations, that generational curse that we got to break out here. But again, it's the norm. It's the comfortable thing. New Orleans is in this cycle that way. Hey, yeah, that's what we used to. That's what we've been doing for years. That's what's always worked. Yeah. So cool. I'm gonna throw my hands back. It's good, but what the fuck is that doing?
And I think you're really right. Like, cause I feel like, how can I put this? Like, even all right. I'm gonna say this. Exposure is everything, right? Like you said, like you can't really want what you don't know you can have.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like you never know. Like I started this program like 2 years ago, which I haven't been able to like really expound on that too either just yet, but it's called Expose and Educate. Through my nonprofit, I like really had different programs, which one was politics where we was doing the panels at Sneaker Politics. Another one was the Expose and Educate, what I'm about to tell you about. So with that program, I took about 12 young ladies in an organization with family members who are incarcerated. They were in a program for incarcerated parents, and I took them horseback riding, and they had never did that before. Something simple like that. I wanted to expose them to something I felt like they had never done before. Mm-hmm. So we went horseback riding, and one of the young ladies, she was very afraid, really afraid to do it. She had never been around a horse, nothing like that. And the way that her friends encouraged her and made her feel comfortable and got her over her fear. And when she got on that horse, when I tell you, she had the best time of her life. Like seeing her smile and just ride in circles around there, that to me, that showed me like, this is what it looks like when a community really come together and support something that they never seen before.
Right.
Like you said. And then it takes things to another level. Because then we did that, and it broke them to where when we came to the education part, when we talked about voting and the importance of voting and stuff like that, they felt like a family.
Right.
Like they was to me closer than ever.
Right.
You know, I really don't know how close they was before that, but I feel like this, like, cause how they was interacting with each other, even learning about voting and what the city council does, what the mayor does. You know, we was just talking about the basics around civic engagement and civics, and they really was just by them doing that, like that stuff together and having that experience together, it made them closer, and they learned better together. Right. How they was just explaining each other, helping each other, teach each other. Like, you know, that's to me, that was everything, because I feel like I really wasn't exposed to a lot either, in a sense of politics, where for the first time when I worked on the congressman campaign, my first time in Baton Rouge in a office, I was so inspired. I had never been to the Capitol. I had never been to the Capitol. I had never got to see inside of the office right there in Baton Rouge, and seeing him with President Obama and different community leaders and Al Sharpton and stuff like that. That was inspiring to me, because I was like, damn, if I would have seen this in high school, maybe I would be a president right now. Right. Your trajectory could change from exposure, is what I'm saying, because it was like I was inspired still at an older age. So imagine if we begin to expose our community and our young people early on to things that they may have seen, but they don't know they could have.
Positive things. Yeah,
positive things. And it's like, that's what I try to preach to them every time I talk to the kids. Every time. It's like, man, it's so much that we could do, and we so powerful, and you're not stuck here, and you're not stuck in your mindset. Right. You know what I mean? Like, you can be in New Orleans and still arrive as a person. Right. That, you know what I mean? I'm not saying like you're stuck here physically. Right. Your mindset. Yes. Where you can grow as much as you want. You can do whatever you want. Right. You know, I have friends driving in Maybachs. Right. Like, you know, it's exposure, because we're exposed to that. We can live this sort of lifestyle here in New Orleans now. So it's like, that's what I want for my city. I just want us to be exposed to the level of things that we can do. Because we so talented. And like you said, it's just sometimes life happens, and we make different decisions that take our trajectory, our life in a whole nother direction. So I just want to encourage everybody out there, like, man, it's never too late to make a good decision. Especially when you're dealing with people, and like you said, especially when you're dealing with yourself. Like, make a good decision for you and your family, for yourself. Start with yourself. Make good decisions. Have a positive mindset. Stop all that jealousy and that hate and the bickering. People can have different opinions than you, different values from you, and y'all can it can still be copacetic. Right. I don't have no problem with you. Right. Just because you don't think how I think, and you don't see the same shit how I see it, and you don't want to operate how I operate, I don't hate you. I don't feel no type of way about you. Right. I don't have nothing to do, may not have nothing to do with you. Right. But I'm not going to treat you as if you're my enemy, because you're not. You're not going to stop my growth. Right. You know what I mean? Because I'm on a mission. Right. So that's what I feel like I try to tell the kids too. Like, all your habits and everything, you starting right now. Like, that's another thing, like, my parents instilled in me. Good habits. Like, me and my brothers, we have good habits. Maybe not so much with the eating and stuff like that. Fuck, I'm from New Orleans, dude. We got some good food.
You said something important, because you said, all right, so you said something about like exposure, right? And I was just in New York with a friend of mine that's from down here, right? And we was walking, and he was like, man, like, see, in New Orleans, like, I'm tensed up. I'm looking around. I'm checking everybody. I'm eyeing everybody. He like, out here, I'm doing the same thing, but like, I feel like I don't have to. And it's kind of going to my point of exactly what we're talking about. We come from this environment out here is 100% on survival mode. 1000% on survival mode. That's why the crime rate is so bad how it is, because it's so easy to say, yes, start with yourself, fix yourself, and work on the things that you need to work on. But if you go to school and 100 of your classmates is on some bullshit, it's fucking hard for you not to follow in. If you go home and your parents, or if you have both parents, if you do, and your parents is not in the right mindset, how the fuck are you supposed to get together? You know what I'm saying? And the reality is, that's the city we come from. Everybody is not on the right mindset. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's going to take a whole wash or cleansing to touch and inspire the things that need to be inspired, because it's not as easy as it's saying. And sitting here talking to you, it highlights on how important the politics of that will be. And that's kind of why I made this. So I call it the Hood Buddah, because it's a little hood and a little spiritual. I want to be relatable. I feel like it's like either or. You're this or you're that. And it's like, no, you could be balanced in between both. And it's like, out here, we leaning so hard to that. And it's like the other side of anything else is foreign.
Yeah, don't have like you can't be both.
Yeah, like it's like,
oh, you fake, oh, you
uppity, you bougie.
Yeah,
it's
like no,
right? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But that's where we come from, and it's like that make people veer away from the shit that they should. That make people tense up about therapy and shit like that. It's just like how you say the girls was more open up after they had that bonding. But it's like we come from a city that you go somewhere and everybody looking at everybody funny, or they tensed up,
or they quiet, they shy.
You know what I'm saying? But it's because we come from a city of survival. The average income out here is $27,000. Niggas ain't got no money. What they supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, again, that's not no excuse, but it's not just a one person fix. It's like, no, it's gonna take
everybody, and it's brick by brick. Like, we need economic opportunity in our city. Like, we need it. We starving for it, and it have to come from things outside of tourism. And it needs to also come from tourism, but it needs to also have a well-rounded variety of options. You know, because I mean, I get a lot of the times, you know, culture. People always talk about culture. Oh no, I got so much culture. This, you know, but it's like the people is really the culture. Like, that's what everybody been talking about. Like, the people are the culture.
Yes.
Like, we, the people, we need, like, me individually, you individually, like, we need economic opportunity.
Yes.
And our lanes. Like, it don't matter what lane you're in.
Right.
Like, we can all benefit from the money that's being presented, or opportunities that's being presented to New Orleans. And we need to be exposed to that. And a lot of that have to do with politics. A lot of that have to do with information getting to us.
Right.
We not really just aware about a lot. I'm still learning as I go. I'm really, really still learning. So it's like, that's why I'm not stopping doing politics, and I'm not stopping doing parties, because, you know, that's where I'm at. That's how I connect with my people. That's how I get to, you know, that's where I'm happy at. But at the same time, I'm also happy in my community. I'm also happy being a part of the brick by brick change. I'm also happy being at the table while people are making decisions on
your city.
My city.
Right.
So I want to know things, and I want to spread that information to other people. I don't want us to keep being in a blind. Well, and I don't care if 2 or 3 people see it. Like you said, like, a lot of people not paying attention. Well, the people who are paying attention, they're gonna get it then.
Right.
They're gonna be the one with the opportunity.
It's gonna catch up.
And that's how I look at it. And that's why, like, even right now, you know, with the lane that I'm in and what I'm doing right now, it wasn't a time for me to sit silent and not talk about personally who I feel like who needs to be our next mayor, personally where I feel like I want to see our city going, because it's bad. It's like, we need that. We need help, and anybody who can help is a friend to me.
Facts.
If you're helping the community in any type of way, you are a friend to me.
Right.
You know, so I mean, I talk to people daily, who want to do this and they want to do that, and you know, I just really try to connect the dots as much as I can and bridge that gap, because it's just a gap. You know, it's like you said, it's a lot of people that want certain things done, and it don't happen overnight, and it don't happen from just a phone call, and it don't happen too from just a vote. It's steps, it's processes, it's things that we have to do,
right?
To get certain things done, and a lot of the times it's a slow grind.
Most of the time
it's a slow grind.
Right.
That's why people are so discouraged by this type of work, because it's a slow grind.
And also though, the world that we're living in, people are seeing on social media these fast turnovers, this glamorous lifestyles that they're not showing what's really the fuck going on.
It's a slow grind.
So, in matter of fact, if you're listening to this, understand is that everything that's easy shouldn't be accepted. Just because it's easy for you or it's comfortable for you, that don't mean you should be fucking doing it. Or if you feel like, oh, well, my grandma did this for 10 years, that don't mean that you should be fucking doing it now. Like, if somebody is doing something and it seems challenging or it seems hard, again, 9 times out of 10, maybe you should dig more deep into that and figure out, why is this so foreign to you? Why is this so unfamiliar? If you got the intuition that you're intrigued by this or you want to learn more about this, you shouldn't veer away from it because it makes you uncomfortable and it makes you feel like it's uneasy. As opposed to, let's throw out example, scamming. You know this is an easy turnover. Fuck the risk. You know that this is easy turnover. You about to get a lump sum and you just gonna take it and this, that, and the third. But it's like, okay, then what? What is the long-term longevity? What is the generational difference between where you come from and now? What are your kids gonna go through? So I'm looking at it as if you think that what's easy or just because everybody else doing it is the way to go, I feel like that's wrong. And I feel like maybe we should have more people. I think we don't have enough people pushing in on a narrative of what's hard. Like, nah, yeah, you might be looking at my Instagram like, oh, he's lit. Oh, he got a nice life. No, I'm about to sit here and talk about the shit that's going wrong. Like, I want to talk about, and that's why I made this. I want to talk about the struggles. Like, I feel like people downfall on that, or people downfall on people going to therapy. And it's just like, no, the reality is life could beat your ass up sometimes. Most times, really and truly.
Yeah, and you need people that's in your lane and that you know, who's more knowledgeable than you, and you need that around you to be able to ask questions and learn. Like, you know, I think that's too what, like, New Orleans is like, you know, the mentorship, the gatekeeping, and all that type of stuff. It's like, I only want to be around people where I can learn things.
Right.
You know, you don't, well, I can ask questions and I don't have to feel uncomfortable. So where it's like, you know, I feel like you don't even want to tell me where you got shoes from.
Right.
Like, you got some people don't even want to tell you where they got their hat from. You know, and it's like, I get it because they have been burned or something. You know, a lot of people have been through a lot of things.
That's
and it's like, yeah, so that's what I be talking about, like with that generation above us. A lot of times their communication is off. And why I feel like my generation is kind of like the savior generation almost, because, and why I'm so obligated to reaching back, because I feel like it was like that was missing for me. You know, a lot of my mentors and people that I look up to is really not too far off my age, like, or if they're not my peers,
right? You
know, like that I called for advice, that I called to talk me through a lot of decisions, you know, and it's not saying like I ultimately make decisions based on whatever people say, but you have to talk through things and you have to see, like, you know, just at least have that mentor. Like, you need that is so important to me. That's everything to me.
If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah. Like, my wife told me one time, she was like, why you always call people and ask them, like, something you could Google? Because it's nothing like a review from a motherfucker who been through it.
Right.
Like, they gonna tell you the ends. I was like, listen, I'm going to tell you exactly how it was when I went there. So, to me, like, I love that type of stuff.
Right.
Well, I could call you and I'm like how you just was hooking up the cameras and doing all that type of stuff. Like, how easy is it for me to call you and be like, what bolt? I don't know how the camera talk go.
Right.
You know, what gigabytes the camera's supposed to be on.
Right.
You know, like, how many lights do I need to, you know what I mean? And then you like, oh, 4.
Right.
You know what I mean? You are at that point being a mentor to somebody, and like, you know, that's why I don't mind when people call me and they may feel like it's a stupid question or whatever. Cause I call people. I be like, yeah, I'm on Bullet. Like, what's the quickest way to read?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it don't, like, girl, pull it up in your maps. Like, no, I'm calling somebody.
I think
but I feel like that helps me build my relationship with them. And I just say push mentorship, bro. I just push that. And it always don't come from looking like somebody that's older than you. It might be your peers and somebody that's a positive reinforcement in your life. You need people like that.
Recheck your surroundings, because it's just like how you say though. I feel like that's the thin line between success and failure. Who are around you? Who are your influences? Again, because if you the smartest person in the room, the richest person in the room, you're in the wrong fucking room. If you got the most knowledge in the room, you're in the wrong room. You should want to be in a room where you feel like you're dumb. Or, oh damn, I don't know enough. I need to get more on my shit. That's the rooms I won't be in. I walk in, I think I knew it all. It's like with the camera shit. I walk in the room, I think I know it all. Till I meet somebody else who know more than me. It's like, oh, okay. Well, I need to get on my shit more. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to you walk in a room and everybody like, oh yeah, you the shit and this, that, and the third. And it's like, all right, but what's more? What's next? How am I getting up? So I think it is important what you say, that mentorship, being around people that can add to you and not subtract to you. Because I don't think it's no in between. It's either you adding to me or you taking away from me.
Yeah.
No in between.
I think that's where I'm at right now too. It's like, look, either you on this train or you not. Like,
right. Facts.
Cause it's too many things. It's too important. Right now is a real time in my life to where every decision, man, this shit matters so much. So if you are somebody that's not adding in some type of capacity, I really just don't have time for it.
You gotta go.
And I gotta keep it moving. Yes. And it's nothing against you.
But you gotta go.
But you gotta go.
Gotta go.
And then next year, years from now, 2 years from now, and you see like, damn, I see why she was going that hard. Like she was really on a mission. It's like, damn.
Yes.
You could have been a part of this journey.
Yes.
But it's like, you chose to do other things. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean about being a good person too, bro. Like, people just be...
Everybody's not a good person.
Yeah, no, they be fucked up.
And that's what I'm learning quickly. Like,
nah, they be fucked up.
Boy, they is fucked up. But I've learned that do not expect you from other people. You cannot expect yourself from other people. But I'm at a place now that I'm also like, listen here. You either on now or you are in my way. And I've been telling people for the longest, it's like, it's going to come off as arrogant. It's going to come off that I'm arrogant. And it's not that. It's just, I now see that you're either adding or you're taking away. Yeah. And I don't got time to talk about how you're doing either or. I'm not have time to talk about to convince you why you're wrong. No, I don't got time for that shit. You either own or you're not. And it's like, no, I'm not arrogant. No, I'm not a bad person, because the people that's opening up and around me, you're going to see that. I'm going to rub off on you in the right way.
Watch how much you elevate. Like, that's what I noticed too. Like, the minute I pray about it and get into a different, cut that person off or whatever. Like, not even cut the person off. Just move into a different space. Like, instantly, another opportunity comes.
Yes.
You elevate. You know what I mean? So it's like, continue to surround yourself with people like that, and just talk it through, and you don't. Sometimes you gonna know, you gonna have that discernment, because you have to like keep your spirit up and keep God first, and really pray through situations and work through situations. Keep your focus, and things gonna begin to elevate. So.
First of all, let's make a toast. Let's make a toast to a New Orleans legend.
Here we go.
Who don't know that legend?
Cheers to that.
Let's make a toast to the legend. That's a double.
Thank you for inviting me too.
Oh, listen, thank you for coming. Because you know what? How you talked about good people? There's some people who feel like there was too much to come sit down right here. And I ain't gonna say no names and none of that shit, but it's just like how you say, your business and your decisions you make business-wise show me a lot about who the fuck you are. And again, I'm not that type of nigga to hold nothing against nobody, but it's just the same philosophy. Like, cool, stay over there.
Yeah.
Because I gotta have that type of boundary. Because I'm only going here, and I'm only trying to bring people up with me. Like, you could be at the highest mountain, but if you by yourself, what's the fucking point?
Yep.
And that's how I look at shit. With that being said, though, I made this podcast again to highlight mental health.
Mental health.
That is my thing that I want to make cool. That's what I want to make cool. Like, not especially, but even just for example, as men, like, we was taught not to be emotional or express our feelings, and it's just like, no, that's not reality. Reality is we all emotional. That's human nature. We all go through shit that affects our present. You know what I mean? So I like to ask everybody, how are they doing mentally in their day-to-day life?
How am I doing mentally? I think I'm doing fine mentally. I do struggle with, what's the word that I'm looking for? Feeling used and feeling overlooked, right? Mm-hmm. So when you put in so much work to help so many people, and you just constantly doing it and trying to push it and trying to push, and sometimes you don't get the feedback or the applause you're looking for.
It's discouraging.
It's discouraging. That's the word I'm looking for. It's discouraging. And sometimes that play a part in my mental. But like I said, it's the stories where randomly God will send somebody to me to like plant that seed to where they'll see how I changed their life.
Right.
How I impacted their life.
Right.
You know, like I've had a text with a young lady via DM, and she said, thank you so much for doing your Christmas giveaway at my sister's school. That was her laptop that she used to go to college. You know, little things like that. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing the right thing. So I mean, that's really what I struggle with, just feeling discouraged. You know, sometimes not being maybe like a ceiling is right there with my creativeness because, you know, the budget not there, or whatever it may be, or somebody or something is blocking me creatively to where I can't get something done. You know, and I have to pivot, you know, different things, financial obligations, like, you know, life really for
life.
Shit, all of it, you know, I'm married, like all of that take you know, a mental like toll on me. So it's just like for me to stay like in a peaceful space and a good mindset, I just work. I create, and I just thrive and stay positive. Like that's really how I get through it. Lately I fasted for 21 days. I'm about to do another 21 days. I like to do that because that helped me get like in a better mental space. I haven't gotten there yet to press the start button. So that's what I'm working on right now, to press the start button on my 21 days. Cause something keep coming up. I be like, oh, I find an excuse like, oh, it's somebody's birthday. Oh, I'm going out the country this day. I can't fast yet. Can't fast just yet. Cause once I fast, I don't want to break it. I want to make sure I, you know, really commit to God and commit to that, to really help with my mental and make sure, you know, like when I want to accomplish something big, I want to fast. And like I said, I'm really just working on 3 huge projects that's really gonna take me to be in a good mental space.
Okay.
Cause I dealt with a lot of trauma last year, business wise. You know, trying to open up my own spot and dealing with those obstacles and, you know, learning things for the first time. You know, and it not happening really took a toll on my mental. It really discouraged me. You know, I felt like I deserved it. I worked hard for it. I saved my money for it. I did what I needed to do to open a business, and everything you could ever think of that could go wrong went wrong. So that discouraged me in a sense of, damn, am I supposed to be? Was it not my time to open up a spot, or did I really just didn't take the proper steps to opening up my first business. So,
Or there's another or.
What?
So
Go ahead.
I'm happy you said
so that's
it's a
been
or.
my mental journey. Like really, like why why that happened to me, because that's my passion. I care about having my own spot and being my own self creatively, putting myself in this position to really be my own boss. And I'm not saying that, I appreciate every opportunity. I'm every Saturday at Hide and Seek, and I work with different people doing events, but it's nothing like me having a space to create on my own that I've been yearning for. So when it didn't happen, it took me some time to really get back and started feeling myself again. I'm not all the way 100%, but I'm in a better space.
That's what I like to hear.
I'm in a better space though.
That you're not 100%. But let me, because I can relate to that discouragement. But I want to talk about. I just had this conversation with somebody that you can know exactly what you deserve, what you put in work for, and what you got coming. But what you don't know is how you're going to get it.
Yeah.
And that's where that discouragement come at, because it's just like how you say, it's just like you did X, Y, and Z, you did all this, and it's just like you're not getting the applaud or the recognition you deserve. Or it's just like how you say you were trying to get your own building and all these things kept happening, and it's just like your question is it not meant to happen, or you took the wrong steps? But it's another or. And that is, maybe you're not meant to understand how it's supposed to happen. You're meant to understand it's going to happen. You don't know how. You don't know when. And I think that's where sometimes our mind goes left, especially in these type of fields. We think we know what we deserve and how we gonna get there, or what we deserve and what's for us. We don't know how we gonna get that shit.
Yeah.
And that's what discourages people. It's like, man, I'm thinking it's supposed to happen like this. It's supposed to look like this. I deserve this. I deserve that. And the whole time, you just being constructed. You're not getting nothing that you don't deserve. You're not being deteriorated. No, you're in construction. And the shit just don't look like how you thought it was supposed to look like. So it's just like how you sitting here telling me, it's like, yeah, it could be you might have taken the wrong steps. Yeah, it could be it wasn't for you. Or it could be it's just not happening how you thought it was supposed to happen. It's happening. It just don't look like how you thought it was supposed to happen. And then once you put that or on the table, you start seeing shit different. It's like, fuck. I say, for example, damn, I just lost $100,000. Man, that shit happened. I'm in a place now where that happen. If that some shit like that happens, the worst possible outcome it happens, it's like, oh, all right, I lost that. I got some other shit coming. That's how you gotta look at it, because I've seen this from my personal experience. I could lose every motherfucking thing, straight down to the bottom. Investments go left. But at the end of the day, I always come out on top.
Yeah.
It's just not how the fuck I thought it was going to happen.
No, literally.
But if you sitting there,
I'm going to have a hell of a story on the next podcast.
Exactly.
They don't
it's
know
like,
that.
fuck, this shit didn't happen. It's like, fuck.
I'm going to have a hell of a story for real. But nah, I feel like I appreciate those words for real.
For real.
That or is serious.
That or, yes.
Yeah.
If you accept, this just how it's just not happening how I thought it was supposed to be.
Right.
You open your eyes and be like, oh no, I ain't lose shit. I just got I got redirected to something better. I thought this is where I wanted to go. I thought this was where the prize was at. The whole fucking time I had something way better.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's why I believe that you don't lose. You never lose in life.
Right.
You only get redirected, or you learn a lesson. That's it. You don't ever take a loss. But if you live in that shit like, oh, I lost, or why this happening to me, or why, you gonna fuck around and miss your blessing.
Yeah, that's your mind. I'm telling you, your mind's so powerful, because it's like you will just be going about your day working. And then, boom, you'll sit back and be like, man, if I had my spot, I wouldn't even be going through this right now.
Exactly.
I wouldn't even be I'll be dictating some other type of situation. You know, I'll be making a different type of decision. But you know, that's just your mind. And like you said, you just want to be, man, on top of it. And that's where I'm at. You know, that's why I said I just really work through it and I create through it. And I really I say those words too, like, man, this not gonna be my position next year. You know, I'm gonna deal with this for right now, but next year, you know, I'm gonna be in a space where I can, you know, I can really control things and make decisions that I want to make. And that's really it. I mean, that for me, that's kind of like where my mental space been. Just kind of, you know, pushing myself through and being myself again and coming into creating. And I've been doing really good these last few months. That's why I feel like I'm due for another fast because, like I said, these next few projects, I want to see these things through, and I really want my city behind me. Because I want to take this to a national level, and I want to take things on the next level. You know, with everything that I'm about to, you know, put out, and it's like I want to do it 100%, and I want to be 100% when I'm doing it. Because, like I said, I'm really not at 100% right now. So I think once I fast and kind of get some other things going, I'm gonna be like at 100, and I'm gonna just release it and just go crazy. And I think God, like you said, just really had other plans. And I'm like, well, maybe this is it, because he done gave me these visions for these situations. So let's push it on through.
Listen, it's coming. It's just not how you think it's coming. Your name is on it. What you want, your name is on it. The route you taking though might just be wrong. You might gotta miss that exit to go. You might gotta make a whole U-turn.
Oh, I missed that. I missed that thing, boy. I missed it.
You might gotta take a whole hour detour.
I had it announced it and everything on Instagram. That might have been my first step messing up.
You ain't messing up.
But I was like, I just knew, cause I still want. So I feel like New Orleans is known for a few things, right? Mm-hmm. We think about New Orleans. If you from out of town, you think about a po' boy. You think about Bourbon Street. You think about the culture, second lines. You think about a daiquiri. So that's why it was kind of important for me to really open a daiquiri shop, because I grew up in the East. I always seen how the daiquiri shop, like, that's where I seen community.
Right.
Like, anytime I pass Crowder, daiquiri shop popping.
Right.
Like, so I always, since a kid, wanted my own. Like, I'd be like, I want that. Right. I want to do that. I want a daiquiri shop. Right. Like, you know, like, because I know entrepreneurship is real. Right. My grandfather had a food store in the East, a Walker's food store. My mama opened the daycare in the East. So my thing was, I threw parties. So my thing, whenever I passed Crowder, I was just inspired by that shit. I'd be like, man, I want a daiquiri shop. I want a daiquiri shop. So I really, like I said, bro, that really, like, man, that really set me back by not opening that daiquiri shop uptown. But I'm not going to let it, like you said, I'm not going to let it discourage me too bad, because before I'm gone, my legacy, like you said, my legacy is gone. I'm going to have me a daiquiri shop in New Orleans, because I want people growing up to have that community. Like, it's not about, like, you know, I know people feel like, oh, the liquor and all this and all that, but, like, a daiquiri to me is like New Orleans culture. It's right. It's like it bring, like I said, it's just bring a sense of gathering, a sense of community, a sense of history. Right. That I don't want to see go away. Right. You know, and I don't want to see it go commercialized. Like, we got daiquiri shops all in Vegas and all that. Right. You know, New Orleans original daiquiri and stuff like that. But it's like it's like I want my people to, like, I want us to have that peace, and I don't want it to go nowhere. So I really want to create that. So that's something I'm going to put in my pocket, in my vote. But it's going to happen before I leave the earth. But, man, I want it that bad.
It already happened. It just ain't found you yet. It already happened. Listen, trust me when I tell you it already happened. It just ain't.
I got
found
my
you.
flavor names and everything. I'm ready.
Listen, listen what I tell you. If you gonna date back to this, you gonna be like, damn,
Ready.
that nigga said that it was already. Listen, it's already here. You just gotta believe, or you just gotta ask yourself, or it's some other shit.
Yeah, I'm doing this politics thing.
Yeah. or it just ain't the time. Or listen, but it's there. It's there. It just might not be how you want to do it. So
my party life gotta take a little pause while I'm politicking right now.
Maybe so. So tell the people where they can find you at and reintroduce yourself.
Everybody can find me at Morgue Verified on Instagram, on Twitter. I am on TikTok too, but I post like my little golf and stuff on there. I'm an entrepreneur here in New Orleans. I'm the founder of Bike and Vote, Young People Vote, where we promote civic engagement throughout the year. I'm also a community advocate, a person that really cares about New Orleans and really want to, bring economic freedom to Black people here, young Black people here in particular, people like myself, like creatives and entrepreneurs and small business owners. What else? I am a event curator. I'm also, like I said, an author of a book called Think Like a Local, and I'm also writing a new book called I Want to Vote, kids book. And yeah, so that's who I am, and that's what I'm working on. And man, every Saturday, I promote an event at Hide and Seek on Decatur Street, where it all started. Used to be a club called the Hookah Bar. Now it's Hide and Seek, owned by my friend Larry Morrow, who really, motivates me to keep going and take things to the next level. So I appreciate people like him and Greg and, all my mentors who I can just call and ask them things and, really look to them for advice and leadership in this type of work, being in the entertainment industry when it comes to like party promoting. And even Nat and Nick, it's a bunch of people that I can name that really, do the party stuff and produce on and curate on a different level with this, and we've been doing it for a long time. Big Stan, who else I worked with before? Everybody, DJ Key Scott, just all my friends who's really in this space, and we need those type of, like, we encourage each other to really just keep going and take things to the next level. So I just want to shout them out. I don't know why I just started shouting them niggas out for no reason. But no, I appreciate them for real, like, cause we doing something that's like, it don't really make sense, but it all started to make sense. Like throwing parties really led us into, like, I just can't get over this picture that G dropped with Jay-Z. Like, listen, all my friends famous. I'm gonna start off there. I've been knowing, I feel like everybody, we all been kind of knowing each other from the beginning of journeys. Like I said, like years ago, I booked, Big Frida, and to see, her and Tootie travel across the world, I mean, it's nothing. It's no better feeling than knowing, like, damn, I know those people, and
right.
They come from where I come from, and we can call each other and encourage each other to do better, and still come home and do things, be home.
Right.
Like, you could go to Europe and London and be ourselves and make money and still come home and do what we need to do here. And I mean, like I said, like Big Frida, Super, Jude, Tokyo, like just everybody, Nick Nack, Paddywhack, like, man, anybody I could think of that's really successful, and Tyron Matthew just retired. I've been knowing him since he was a kid, like, so, and vice versa. It's like, man, I just want to see everybody win. and I just hope everybody wish the same for me. And that's it. Like, we just gotta keep building and keep going. And like, to see New Orleans too, like with the different podcasts and the streaming, I love that.
Right.
We need more of that, and we need to encourage that. Like you said, we need to, sit on these platforms and give you that exposure that you need, and vice versa. People that follow you probably don't know who I am, and vice versa. So It's like, let's help each other get to where we're trying to go. So I'm just happy to be here and tell my side of things and the shit that I go through.
Collaboration.
It might be important to somebody, because I don't know that. Maybe that's why I went through all that shit, just to talk about it on this podcast, so y'all could know this is real life. And, I'm taking it day by day, and I'm still learning. And trust me when I say, like, I'm not stopping. Like, this is only gonna go up. I'm only elevating. So, yeah, that's it.
Y'all heard it here first. But to sum it up, she's that girl.
To sum it up,
she's that girl. Okay, yeah. She popping. Y'all heard it here first. She done popped us shit. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. This was session 15 of the Hood Buddah podcast. I'm your host, BP.
I'm gonna play that on
what?
Roulette. 50.
Hey, right.
50? I'm all right. Cool.
Right. Special number. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for having me.
And see y'all till next time. Peace. We out.
When you broke, there's always sleep ratio, there's always woke. What you trying to do?